program was recorded and originally broadcast at an earlier date.
With teams playing deep zones against them because they had big early leads.
What it's going to do right now, it is not forcing them out of their game plan because it's still early in this football game. 7:51 remaining in the first quarter. They're down by 7 points. They're not going to abandon the game plan right now. But if they don't start doing something offensively with their game plan and stopping somebody on defense, they're going to have to throw it out the window.
Mickemeyer again to kick off with Harper and Darby deep. It's Bruce Harper at the 5-yard line. Harper scooting up the middle. 35. Almost the 40-yard line before they drag him down.
And the man involved in the tackle was the kicker, Mickemeyer, and they didn't want to get him involved in tackling because he had a bad back and was unable to work out this week.
This telecast is presented by authority of the NFL. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Baltimore Colts and the NFL is prohibited. First and 10 for Richard Todd and the Jets from their own 40-yard line. 7:37 to play in the first quarter. They're already down 7-0. Scott Durkee breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and turns it into a 5-yard gain.
Good second effort by Scott Durkee because he was hit at the line of scrimmage. That was a big play for the Jets. They need something going because I know after you lose 3 or 4 ball games in a row when you're expected to win, you get the momentum goes in the other way. You get down, you get pressing, you get worried about it. And when you get tight, it's difficult to play well.
2nd and 5 from the 45. Durkee shifting out into a wing spot. They give the ball to Clark Gaines, and Gaines has first down yardage. Across midfield to about the 47 of Baltimore. Sanders Shiver, the left side linebacker, with the tackle.
They've been really using Clark Gaines this year so far. As you said last week, 17 receptions against the 49ers. That's something that they do not want to do. Here, straight ahead blocking. Good block by Randy Rasmussen. Right up front, straight ahead. Get a little gap, and you're going to make some yardage.
Those 17 receptions by Gaines a week ago, just one shy of the NFL record set in 1950 by Tom Fears of the LA Rams. And Gaines has caught 31 passes this year, most in the NFL. That one is dropped by the rookie, the #1 draft choice, Johnny Lamb Jones, who has caught only 4 passes so far this year.
That defensive back was really happy to see him drop that because big 79 Marvin Powell was pulling around on that screen, and he would have leveled that defensive back had he made the reception.
So far, the tandem of Wesley Walker and Johnny Lamb Jones has not produced the kind of offense they had expected. Walker, however, has been bothered by injuries. Neck sprain, bruised cheek, pulled hamstring, and that has allowed defenses to double-team Jones, making his adjustment as a rookie all the tougher. 2nd and 10 for Todd. Got his man open. That's Wesley Walker with the catch.
Number 47, Larry Brazil, the defensive back, gave Wesley Walker a lot of room in front of him. He was making sure that he was not going to go deep. They had a blitz on. 56, Simonini, the linebacker, coming. He's picked up by Fields, the center. Good protection, good throw, and a catch. When you look at that, it looks very simple. And the reason for that is because if the quarterback has the ability to see and his vision is not impaired, generally he's going to throw a pretty good pass.
For Walker, just his 3rd catch of the year, but provided he's healthy, that figure is going to change very quickly. Scott Durkee, couple of yards to about the 30-yard line before Mike Barnes wrapped him up. Barnes is the best pass rusher on this Colt club. He had 3 sacks last week against Kenny Stabler and the Oilers.
Well, that front four of the Baltimore Colts is coming alive. Fields, the defensive right end, they feel is an excellent pass rusher. And Fred Cook is one of the best defensive ends in the National Football League, number 72, the left end. So they can put some pressure on him.
2nd down and a short 8 from just across the 30-yard line. 5 minutes and 3 seconds to play in the first quarter. Jets trail 7-0, but they're driving. Todd with the play fake. And throw to the sideline. And the catch is made by Bruce Harper. Harper, who caught 7 last week in the loss to San Francisco, driven out of bounds by free safety Nesby Glasgow, but he has first down yardage.
I'll tell you why he threw that football to Harper. Number 85, Wesley Walker, had 2 men with him back in the end zone. Play action fake, faking to Gaines, the fullback. And he's looking deep, but the deep man Walker is covered. As you can see right there, 2 men on him. So he hits Harper. Good throw, good catch, and another first down. Something the Jets need. They need to move that ball. They need to get into the end zone.
On the Baltimore 18-yard line, both wide receivers, Jones and Walker, are on the left side. Mark Gaines will carry on first down, slips through a couple of tackles, and gets 7 yards.
That's good blocking up front by that Jet offensive line. Joe Fields, 65, the center. Dan Alexander, number 60, the right guard. And Randy Rasmussen, number 66, the left guard. They've been making very good yardage up the middle. And I'm sure they're going to continue to do that until Baltimore stops them.
We move inside, 4:30 to play in the first quarter. Durking, wrapped up by Ed Simonini. If we get a chance to look at this again, Simonini seemed to smell the play out as they were lined up along the line of scrimmage, and he moved into position even before the snap to make the play.
He is the smallest middle linebacker in the National Football League, and he read it all the way. He saw the guard pulling. He shot that gap, and that's his strength. His strength is that quickness. Number 56, Ed Simonini, he's coming out now because they're coming into a passing situation. They're getting some defensive backs in the ball game to help against the pass.
Walt Michaels, AFC Coach of the Year in 1978 when the Jets were 8-8. Same mark last year, off to an 0-3 start this time. Simonini's play resulted in a loss of 2. It's 3rd down and 5. The ball is at the 13.
They're coming after him.
Todd gets rid of it, but incomplete.
Flag is down on somebody. The yellow flag is down. It's over in the direction of Lamb Jones and Larry Brazil.
Bruce Harper was the target on the play as Todd had to get rid of it. Let's see what Fred Wyant says.
It's against the New York Jets.
So with Baltimore declining the penalty here, bringing up 4th down, we're going to see Pat Leahy. Leahy has hit on 3 of 4 field goal tries this year, including a 49-yarder, his career best a week ago against San Francisco. The Colts considering the situation, whether or not they want to take the penalty, give them 3rd down again, but push them back further for the field goal. Let's see.
Pass interference, number 80, offense, declined, 4th down.
They decide they want to take the ball away from Richard Todd, taking no chances, and Leahy is standing at about the 20-yard line, making this a 30-yard attempt.
Field goal attempt. From the 20.
Well, they probably figured even if he makes it, they're still ahead, 7-3.
Pat Ryan, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Joe Fields snaps it. Leahy gets it away. Plenty of distance. A flag is down on the play. The kick was good. And let's wait and see what the penalty will be.
It looked like the Colts jumped off sides.
You got it, Len? The Jets will decline this, so they are still without a first-half touchdown this year, but they do put 3 points on the board.
Take a look at the yard marker. They may not decline it. It's 4th down and about 5 yards to go. I'm sure that what they want to do is take a look at it.
No, you might be right. Let's see if this gives them the first or puts them close enough.
The Jets say yes.
Scoreboard says 4th and 5. What we don't know whether or not that is 4th and 4.5 or 4th and 5.5.
Number 72, defense offside. It is a first down. The ball was over 5 yards. It is a first down.
That answers our question. That is a big break for the New York Jets. It's tough to think that they had an opportunity to take a penalty just one play ago that would put the Jets further back, and they declined that. Now they jumped off sides. The one thing that they didn't want to do, they were almost conceding the 3 points. One thing they didn't want to do is jump off sides. New life for the Jets.
Fred Cook was the man who was offsides. It sets up 1st and goal at the 8. It negates the 3 points. Leahy's 30-yarder erased. Score still 7-0, but the Jets now with a chance to tie. Todd with a quick drop. Throw to the end zone. Intercepted.
Touchdown.
Look out. Racing down the sideline, Larry Brazil. He might go over 100 yards. Pulled down from behind by Bruce Harper. Brazil went 64 yards with the return to the 38-yard line of the Jets after picking it off 2 yards deep in the end zone.
It's a real bad throw by Todd. He's just firing it out there without ever locating the defensive back. There was never a chance for Walker to come up with it. They're fortunate he didn't go 102 yards. He just went 64 yards. Would have meant it killed any possibility of a Jet score. And Baltimore right now is in excellent field position on the 41-yard line.
We'll be back in just a moment. Only the great speed of Bruce Harper, who caught him from behind, prevented a touchdown.
Hey, a little one-on-one. I have to do some yard work. Want to Michelob Light? I don't have to do any yard work.
Would good friends really go at it this hard just for a beer? Well, consider it's Michelob Light. And that means a rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
102 to 98. How did you do it? Defense?
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
RCA wants you to see the right color. Does your television automatically capture all these subtle shades of blue in this ocean of color? ColorTrack 1981 can. With RCA's exclusive detail processor, ColorTrack separates detail from color, refines it, then locks the right color on track. Even colors only subtle shades apart. ColorTrack 1981. RCA is making television better and better.
The ball is spotted at the 41-yard line of the Jets. It is a 64-yard return for Brazil. He picked it off 5 yards deep in the end zone is the official word. So a certain 7-3 is suddenly turned into 7-0, and the Colts have a chance to drive for more. There's a flag thrown as Joe Washington catches the pass out of the backfield and picks up about 9 yards on the play. Joe Klecko with the tackle.
I think they're going to bring that one back. They threw that one in the backfield holding on Baltimore. They'll bring that play back. Joe Washington is really quick. He's made some moves here already, and it's nice to see him back in the ball game. When he got banged in the end zone when he scored, he's all right now.
The interception, by the way, by Brazil represented the 7th pickoff that Richard Todd has thrown this year.
Holding number 62. Offense, first down.
Kenny Huff was holding on the play, number 62. It's first down and 20 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Ball at the Colt 49. And on the drop play, they give it to Don McCauley. He was the lone setback. He gets about 5 yards to the 46 of the Jets before Stan Blinka makes the stop. Last week, against San Francisco, Blinka came out of the game with a concussion, wanted to go back in. The coaches said to him, who are we playing? He said, San Francisco. He said, where are we? Shea Stadium in New York. They said, hold it. What year is it? He said, 1981. They said, sit back down.
Well, he almost had another headache because he really nailed McCulley on that play. Got 4 wide receivers in the ball game once again.
Second, and we'll call it 15. Jones has good protection. Guns one into a crowd, and there is the rifle arm of Burt Jones as he hit Randy Burt, the third-year man out of Kentucky.
That's almost hard to believe that that was a completed pass because he fired that ball in there. Bobby Jackson, defensive cornerback, who had excellent position to guard that receiver, but you see Jones right here really firing the ball right between two. Look at it, it's Bobby Jackson right there coming over the top. The ball, had it been any higher, would never been caught because Jackson would have got a hand on it and deflected it away.
They got 11 on the play to the Jet 35, where it's third down and 4. Inside 2 minutes to play in the quarter. The Colts lead it 7-0. Jones to the air on third down. Again, he has time. Again, he has his receiver. A Baltimore first down. Joe Washington made the catch.
And he paid for it because Blinka really leveled him just as he made that reception and drilled him right into that area down there that's dirt and it's hard and it hurts. You can see right there from Joe Washington, he's spitting out a lot of, looks like, what is it, the first base or between first and second base that he's spitting out over there.
Burt Jones had a great game against the Jets in the season opener. Hit 24 of 42 for 257 yards. Bad game against Houston last week. 11 of 29, 137 yards, sacked 5 times, and got a broken nose to go with it. Curtis Dickey carrying on first down, and he's stuffed pretty quickly by the combination of Marty Lyons and Stan Blinka.
Burt Jones right now is 4 for 4 for 32 yards. And noticing the pass rush of the Jets, they're not getting to Burt Jones. He's got time to look. He's got time to survey the defense. He's got time to step up and throw. They must put some heat on Burt Jones, number 7, if they're going to have any success against Baltimore's passing game.
The Jets have recorded just 3 quarterback sacks this year. Coming into today's action, only Denver with 2 had fewer in the entire league. Steve Mickemeyer getting ready just in case. Curtis Dickey again, trying to go wide. Some blockers in front of him. Sheds a couple of tacklers and lunges forward to about the 25-yard line. Abdul Salam makes the tackle.
Dickey does not have the ability of a Joe Washington to cut back. You take a look at him here going to the right, and it's all bogged up to the right. Now, if he could have planted his right foot there and spot way back to the left-hand side with his great speed, if he had that ability, he might have broken that thing.
They won't get another playoff. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and there's the gun to end the first quarter. So on a 5-yard touchdown run by Joe Washington after their first possession, the Colts have a 7-0 lead at the end of quarter number 1, and they're driving for more.
Now comes Miller time. The flag is dropped, the race is a memory. And now you're coasting into the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, if you got the time, we've got the beer. If you got the time.
By now, almost everybody's heard about the incredible Black & Decker Workmate. About how it makes almost any hard job a lot easier, like planing, hammering, sawing, almost anything. But what most people don't know about the incredible Workmate is now you can get a single hatch model for as little as $45.
Wow.
That's right. A Black & Decker Workmate for about $45. That's really incredible.
Are you being robbed by the pump? The front-wheel drive Plymouth Reliant K, the American way to beat the pump. America's highest mileage 6-passenger wagon. Chevy claims Citation has the utility of a wagon. But watch. With back seat folded down, Citation holds only 41 cubic feet to 69 cubic feet for Reliant. And you get higher mileage with Reliant K from Plymouth, the American way to beat the pump.
This is Brian Gumble in New York. The Buccaneers aren't out of it yet, trailing 34-27. The onside kick works. The Buccaneers are in business, but there's only 12 seconds left in the ball game. They need a touch to send it in overtime. We'll keep you posted as we go back to Baltimore.
Okay, thank you, Bryant. Bob Costas with Len Dawson, the start of quarter number 2. The Colts are in front 7-0. They have 3rd down and 6 at the Jet 25.
And a definite passing situation for Burt Jones, who has been successful on all of his attempts so far. The reason being is the Jets really are not putting any heat on Burt Jones. They're not putting much pressure on him.
For the season, Burt has completed 51% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's scored a touchdown rushing as well. Now he wants to walk to the sidelines and talk things over with Mike McCormick. Then he changes his mind and goes back to the huddle. If you've just joined us, the Jets had a field goal on the board from Pat Leahy, a 30-yarder. But there was an offside against the Colts, which gave them a 1st down. They decided to give up the field goal, take 1st and goal at the 8 on the very next play. Richard Todd was intercepted by Larry Brazil, who returned it 64 yards. Now the Colts are in business, and once again, it's Randy Burke on the receiving end of the Burt Jones pass.
And once again, Burt Jones had all the time in the world to take a look. No one was impairing his vision. He was able to step forward and fire the ball. You see number 84 is Randy Burke. He's going to go down and just turn inside, little hook pattern, and Jones is going to fire the ball right on the numbers, right where you want it. Threw it so hard, almost knocked him down. The last time, 2 weeks ago, in practice, he threw a ball to Burke and he dislocated his finger. That was just in warm-up.
They got 10 on the play. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Opening minute of the second quarter. Jones wants 6. Reese McCall couldn't hold on. McCall who caught 4 passes in the opener against the Jets and hasn't caught one since, had his hands on it, but couldn't wrap it up.
Well,
Schaefer Suggs on the coverage.
Credit 23, Schaefer Suggs. He did an excellent job of stripping him of that football. McCall had his hands on it. He was up high. Had the ball been a little lower, he wouldn't have had to stretch out so far, and it might have been a completed pass.
14-19 to play, second quarter. Second down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Jets beginning to wonder what it feels like to have a lead. Constantly found themselves behind this year. This is Cleveland Franklin, the former Philadelphia Eagle, running on second down and getting only about a yard. Marty Lyons, who was moved to tackle from end where he began his career, makes the stop.
Jets have been doing a good job against the running game, but unfortunately, they're not doing it to pass.
We'd like to welcome those of you who are watching the Cleveland-Tampa Bay game. You pick it up here with 3rd and 9 for Baltimore, deep in Jet territory, and here's the pass to Don McCauley, who lowers his head and goes into the end zone for the Colts' second touchdown. Burt Jones with his 3rd scoring pass of the season, and the Colts are up by a score of 13-0 on the 14-yard scoring play.
They finally got to Burt Jones on that play. You see him coming off the field. He hit him right after he threw the ball, and he's getting off rather slowly, but he really fired that ball to McCauley. Going back in the pocket, once again, up front, up that area there where he can see. Excellent protection. He really drilled that ball to McCauley. Lowering your head, he knows where the goal line is. In for the touchdown. They're now leading 13-0.
So, those of you who just joined us from the Tampa Bay game, you see a scoring play right away, and you saw plenty of them in that Cleveland-Tampa Bay battle, which the Browns won by a score of 34-27, and both those teams are now 2-2. Steve Mickemeyer to kick, trying to add the 14th point, and he does. We have 13 minutes and 33 seconds to play in the second quarter in Baltimore. With the score, the Colts 14 and the Jets nothing. We're coming right back.
Is the pump picking your pocket?
The K cars are here!
Front-wheel drive Plymouth Reliant K, the American way to beat the pump. America's highest mileage 6-passenger car.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6!
Yet with Reliant's engine and drivetrain directly over the front wheels, Reliant gives you impressive pulling power. Reliant K from Plymouth, the American way to beat the pump.
At JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't give you the business because we want to keep your business.
They didn't sell me the JCPenney battery. They said the 5-year battery was powerful enough for my car. It was.
I thought I needed new shock absorbers. They told me my tires were too hard.
I came in for ordinary radials. I came out with new Mileage Maker XP all-season steel-belted radials. They steered me right.
JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't steer you wrong.
Monday in prime time.
Yes, it's an emotional time for all of us.
It's the 18th anniversary of The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson.
Personally, I don't even know what I'm doing in prime time. I don't even jiggle.
Bob Costas and Len Dawson back in Baltimore. Same old story for the Jets. Quick hole.
They're in the same position they've been in. They're 14 points down now with 13:33 to go in the second quarter. They got to play catch-up, which means they got to start throwing the football once again. Last time they threw it, Todd made a real bad throw, and they intercepted that ball, brought it back 64 yards out of the end zone, took away any possibility of any scores for the New York Jets.
That led to the last Baltimore touchdown, so instead of 7-3, it becomes 14-0. Bruce Harper again fielding Mickemeyer's kick at the goal line. Harper to the 25 and wrapped hard, and down he goes. Ricky Jones got down there on the coverage. Jones acquired just this week, reserve linebacker, cut earlier in the season by Cleveland. He's been all over the place on special teams.
Didn't take him long. 9 plays, 41 yards, 4:45 elapsed. 14-yard pass to McCulley. It's 14-0. Baltimore, the Jets have got to try to play catch-up.
Richard Todd sends both Wesley Walker and Johnny Lamb Jones wide to the right. Mickey Schuler, the tight end, on the left side. Clark Gaines carries on first down for about 3. Buffalo goes 4-0. They beat Oakland. The Raiders now 2-2, 24-7, and Chuck Knox's club apparently is for real.
Shows you how important this game is for both teams.
Cincinnati upset Pittsburgh a week ago. Almost did the same to Houston. The Oilers hang on for a 3-point win.
2nd and 7 at the 28.
12:50 to play in the first half. Jets trailing 14-0. They have 2nd down and 7 here. Todd with the play fake. Plenty of time. Wants to go up top for Johnny Lamb Jones. He's got it. Lamb Jones is inside the 20-yard line of Baltimore, and that's the big play, utilizing the speed of Jones that the Jets have been waiting for all season.
Been waiting a long time for that man, 80. Lamb Jones to get free, and Todd went back, a little play fake, threw that ball, I'm sure, just as far as he possibly could, faking the ball. You can see the fake there to Durking, and he's just throwing it high and far. It was really an excellent throw, right on the money, didn't have to break stride. Number 42, Derek Hatchett, the man that was his teammate in college, was just a half a step away, but the ball was perfectly thrown.
A 53-yard gain has lifted the spirits of Walt Michaels a bit. From the 17 of Baltimore, 1st and 10. Todd keeps it on the ground. Durking running well. Durking gets down to the 10-yard line, picking up 7. Greg Fields, the second-year defensive lineman from Grambling, is in on the tackle.
Well, that's an excellent play on 1st down, picking up 7 yards. Now it makes the play calling a little bit easier. They're in a situation right now that they actually have 3 downs to pick up the 1st down if necessary.
Detroit goes to 4-0, a team that was 2-14 a year ago.
Yeah, Danielson, a couple of touchdown passes in that ball game.
And an important divisional win for them in the NFC Central. It drops Minnesota to 2-2. With 11:21 remaining in the quarter. 2nd down and 3. A flag is thrown as Durking goes down after picking up only a yard or 2.
Generally, when that happens on a running play in the middle of that offensive line, it's holding against the New York Jets. No. Generally, it is. They're calling clipping on Baltimore. Generally, when you see that flag thrown right in the middle of that line of scrimmage on a running play, it's on the offense. This time, the Jets get a break.
Here's Fred Wyant, the referee.
Personal foul, number 88, defense. 1st down.
Herb Orvis, the guilty party. For the Jets, it's 1st and goal at the 6. They have not scored a touchdown in the first half of any of their first 3 games this year.
Well, if ever they need a touchdown, they need it now.
4 tries to go 6 yards. Kevin Long eats it up in 1 carry. Kevin Long is into the end zone.
You can see right there what this means to the New York Jets and how frustrated they have been over the last 3 ball games because they are 0-3. And they're down once again. They know that they've got an outstanding offensive team, and here it is, the offensive line doing the job. Randy Rasmussen, number 66, an outstanding block by Randy on that one, providing the hole, and now it's just a matter of lowering your head, bowling your way into the end zone.
With 11:08 remaining in the second quarter, Pat Leahy will kick out of the hold of Pat Ryan. Joe Fields will snap it. Right through the uprights, and the Jets are back in the ball game. So we'll return to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore in just a moment with the score, the Colts 14 and the Jets 7.
This is a can of Mobil 1. What's in it for you?
Gas.
Lots of gas. Lots and lots of gas. If you drive 25,000 miles a year and get about 15 miles per gallon, you can save up to 80 gallons of gas a year by changing to Mobil 1. The oil that saves you gas and more.
Michelob Light for the winning team, okay? You guys would do that for us?
Would a bunch of guys really go at it this hard just for a beer? Well, consider it's Michelob Light, and that means a rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
You guys never played like that before.
Hey, we never played for a Michelob Light before.
Michelob Light, compare the taste.
Next Sunday, start your day with NFL 80 as host Brian Gumbel takes a revealing look at the violence in football. Is it just an accident or is the intent to injure? Plus, Pete Axtone previews the day's picks. NFL 80. Check local listings.
Pat Leahy to kick off. Curtis Dickey is waiting at the goal line. He is flanked by Kim Anderson and Don McCauley. Dickey backing up almost to the back of the end zone and decides, even with that 9-1 speed, he will not bring it out. Touchback, 20-yard line situation for Baltimore.
A rule of thumb, if that ball is more than 2 yards deep in the end zone, you down it. Didn't take the Jets long, did it? That big play to Lamb Jones, pass from Richard Todd. 4 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Consumed on the clock. 11:03 remaining, second quarter. It's 14-7. Baltimore ahead with the ball.
In Cleveland's 34-27 win over Tampa Bay. Wild game for Sam Nover and Bob Trumpy to call. Brian Sipe had a big day. He became the first passer ever to throw for more than 300 yards in a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he threw for 3 touchdowns. Sipe and the Browns beating Tampa Bay 34-27. Both those teams now 2-2.
Bob, you know, the Jet fans been wondering about the Jet offense when it was going to unload. Well, Cleveland fans have been wondering about that also because they have an outstanding offensive attack. Really hadn't done much until today. They really unloaded on an outstanding Tampa Bay defensive team. You got a man down on the field. New York Jet player.
Trying to get a better look and figure out just who it is. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 for Baltimore with 10 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the second quarter. For those of you who were not with us at the beginning of the game because other games ran long, we want to repeat the importance of this contest to both clubs, surprising Buffalo with a record of 4-0. So if the Jets were to lose here and go 0-4, they'd be 4 games down. And if Baltimore were to lose, they'd go 3 games down with a record of 1-3. So they need to win to stay in it. We're coming right back.
The value of your money is more important than ever these days. So get professional answers to financial questions like these.
Pop will be leaving the business in a few years to retire. Isn't now the time he should get professional advice on his retirement plans?
A good retirement program is important. For the advice you need, see a full-service bank. They've got the answers.
You know, this baby is really going to help me do a lot more work. I wonder, though, if I ought to buy it or lease it.
Let a professional help you decide what's best. See your full-service bank. They've got the answers.
My girls seem to have grown up faster than my income. Now Susan needs braces.
And Shelley's ready for college.
I guess we'll have to borrow some money. But there are lots of ways.
Which is best for us?
Keep your checking and savings at a full-service bank and get professional answers to your financial questions. America's full-service banks. We've got the answers.
Next Sunday, start your day with NFL 80, followed by coverage of exciting NFL regional action. Telecasts include the Colts versus the never-say-die Dolphins, the Broncos-Browns battle, and the Bills-Chargers shootout. Check local listings for the game in your area.
Strong safety Schaefer Suggs was the man injured on the play, and as you can see, seriously.
You really hate to see that. And what happened, there was a big pile and a big collision on that last play, a running play. You can see just a straight-ahead play coming in. Here's Suggs coming up right now. And his own man fell over the top of him. Number 23, strong side safety, Schaefer Suggs.
His replacement is going to be Ken Schroy, a fourth-year man from Maryland, and Schroy has been something of a utility player this year for the Jets. When their linebackers were all banged up last week, there's Schroy, number 48, against San Francisco. He wound up playing the fourth quarter at left side linebacker.
They have enough problems with their defense, let alone put on top of that the fact that they've had several, as you said, several of them injured. You see Walt Michaels facing the sidelines and probably wondering, what else can go wrong with this football team. Had a lot of adversity early in the year already.
The coaches here today, Mike McCormick and Walt Michaels, go back a long ways together. Both grew up in the Paul Brown system at Cleveland.
Well, I played with both of them when I was a member of that Cleveland Brown football team. Both of them, Walt Michaels, an outstanding linebacker, with the Cleveland Browns. He was the defensive captain. Mike McCormick, an outstanding all-pro offensive tackle. He was the offensive captain of the Cleveland Browns.
We'll have word for you as soon as we know something definite about the condition of Schaefer Suggs. Meanwhile, as play resumes, it's second down and 8 yards to go for Baltimore. They're at their own 22. We have 10 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the second quarter.
It may take a little time to get the results of what the injury is to Schaefer Suggs, but we sure will get it all the friends and family of Schaefer back in New York as soon as we possibly can.
The Colts lead it by a score of 14-7. Joe Washington went 5 yards for their first touchdown. Don McCauley caught a 14-yard pass from this man, Burt Jones, for their second one. Then Kevin Long scored a touchdown on a 6-yard run to cut it to 14-7 for the Jets. That play followed a 53-yard pass connection from Todd DeLam Jones. And Joe Washington had a perfect pass from Burt Jones as he lobbed it over the coverage in between two men, had it in his hands, couldn't hold on to it.
I just got a report on Schaefer Suggs, Bob, is that he had a rib injury. The reason they took him off on the stretcher was he was unable to sit up. And, of course, a rib injury, if it is broken, they are always fearful that they don't want the rib piercing the lung. One thing that I noticed, though, a good sign, there is a good sign of getting injured, is that he was alert and awake and knew what was going on.
Now it's third down and 8. Jets go with 5 defensive backs. Jones again with time. Now he has to scramble. Bit of pressure on him. Plecko closing in. Jones throwing on the run and up and over everybody and out of bounds, and the Colts will have to punt.
First time this afternoon that they really put some heat on Burt Jones. Burt Jones, that time, as you see him smiling, knowing the one thing, that he threw the ball away and was just saving some yardage. He just threw it up in the seats over there, way out of bounds. But the Jets got some pressure on Burt Jones, and if they want to succeed in this game, they've got to do that all afternoon long.
The 13-year veteran Mike Bragg, cut during the preseason by the Washington Redskins, signed by the Colts, is in to kick. Bruce Harper, number 42, waiting for the boot. Bragg is averaging 40.9 this season through 3 games. Chris Foote getting ready to snap it. This is what Bragg is looking at right now. Snap comes back in good shape. No pressure on him. Sends a high spiraling kick, which Harper fields at the 40 and is spun down at the 45, but they might have gotten him by the face mask. Flags all over the place.
I guess they did. They almost jerked his head right off. They stuck the paw in there, and what they came up with was the face mask. That's all. Whether it's 5 or 15 right now is a determination of what intent was there, according to the officials.
Looked like Brian DeRue, number 87, a reserve wide receiver who plays especially well and aggressively on the Colts special teams, was the guy who got down there and grabbed the face mask of Harper, and they think intentionally they walk off 15.
87, face mask. First down.
That can really be dangerous. Take a look here. Harper gets it. You're going to see 87 right there. Reaches in right there. Gets a hold of the face mask and twists it around. You can see how the neck and the head twist around.
It was Brian DeRue. They tack on 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 Jets at the Colt 40 when we come back.
I told my Allstate agent I can't afford life insurance. Well, John, don't put marbles in the penny wrappers. He told us about one of Allstate's affordable life plans. For a 28-year-old, $50,000 in decreasing term insurance for about $11 a month. These pennies could pay for a couple of months. Well, John...
Well, you put your pennies in my marble jar.
Ask about Allstate Life's affordable life plans. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you haven't tuned up your engine lately, put in a fresh set of Champion spark plugs. Fresh Champions once a year can keep your starts on cue. You can't buy a better plug.
This is Bryant Gumbel in New York. At Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, the Chiefs have caught the Chargers. Ted McKnight on a sweep makes it look easy. Point after was good. It's all tied at 7, Chargers and Chiefs. Let's go back to Baltimore and rejoin Bob Costas.
Thank you, Bryant. So the Chiefs making it tough on the Chargers.
Well, they're going to have to do it for 4 quarters. Kansas City hasn't shown much offense this year. Jets need a touchdown right now.
Got 10:09 left. They trail by 7, 14-7. From the 40-yard line of Baltimore. The handoff is to Scott Durkee, who runs into a stone wall, led by Fred Cook, and he gets nothing.
Scott Durkee on the carry, stopped by Fred Cook.
They're down in that infield part, too. Taking a look at the defense, as you can see, 65 is Shields, Randy Rassel 66, 56 is Simonini. He's going to be around that ball all day long. He has great quickness. The ideal thing, and the reason they get into an odd alignment like they do, is make sure that the guards do not get to that man, Simonini. They want him roaming free to make the tackles.
Gaines and Durking are in the eye. Jones is wide right. Walker is wide left. Todd is firing over the middle. Johnny Lamb Jones makes the catch. Avoids a couple of tacklers. Streaking down that left sideline. And he is deep into Colt territory. Inside the 15-yard line before he's driven out of bounds.
You can see the quickness of a Lamb Jones. When he caught that ball, he retreated about 5 or 6 yards. But he has such great quickness. Todd going back, a little fake to the back to Durking. Not much of a fake, though, but he catches it in front of the defensive backs. Now you see the speed take over Johnny Lamb Jones. See Clark Gaines going as fast as he possibly can, trying to get out in front to try to help. But another big play by Lamb Jones. Richard Todd to that man. They need a few more of those.
They got 30 on the play. It's a first down. They might be able to get another first down at about the 1-foot line. Not that way they won't, though.
Herb Orvis, number 88, the defensive right tackle, read something because he was 3 yards in the backfield. He had a hold of Gaines before he had an opportunity to even get back to the line of scrimmage. That was really an outstanding play by 88. 21, Gaines trying to get something, but you can see right there he's hit at least 2 yards deep in the backfield. When that happens, you can forget it. I don't care what type of a back you are, how good you are, you're not going anyplace because that man is a lot larger than Clark Gaines. And when he gets his arms wrapped around him, Clark is going to have to go down.
Herb Orvis had to beat out Joe Ehrman, the veteran from Syracuse, to take that starting job at right tackle this year. Here's Todd on second down from the 11. Finds a receiver for the game-tying touchdown. Clark Gaines makes the catch. The guy who caught 17 last week against San Francisco and had caught 31 to lead the NFL coming into the game. And the Jets are now within a Pat Leahy extra point of tying it up.
Credit Richard Todd for that play, throwing it to Clark Gaines, number 21, because it looked like for a second there he was going to take off and run. Right there, it looked like he was going to run the ball, but he spots him. A good throw. He made the defense commit. The reason that because Todd has the ability to run, and they had to do something. If they didn't commit on Todd, then he'd run in for the score.
Pat Leahy ties things up, so the Jets have battled back. After trailing 14-0, they have scored twice here in the second quarter. And with 7 minutes and 56 seconds left in the half, we have a brand new game.
Has the pump got you in a bind?
The K cars are here!
Plymouth Reliant K. Highest mileage 6-passenger cars. The American way to beat the pump. 4-door, 2-door, or wagon. And with all the weight of Reliant's engine and drivetrain up front, you get the great traction of front-wheel drive. Reliant K from Plymouth, the American way to beat the pump.
Home energy bills have gone sky high, and that's the good news. The bad news, they're expected to double again in the next 10 years. But you can fight back. Get up in your attic and add another layer of Owens Corning fiberglass insulation on top of the insulation you already have. Put your house in the pink. See your dealer or contractor for more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now.
Saturday, it's pennant fever as the Astros battle the Dodgers for best in the West. Plus coverage of the crucial matchup as the race for the pennant goes down to the wire. Check local listings.
You're going to see that touchdown pass. Richard Todd, 14 to Clark Gaines, number 21. A good move here because he makes the defense commit. You look at 56 Simonini, he's committed. He's out of his area where that's where he would have been had he been playing pass.
Back live. It's Curtis Dickey grabbing the kick by Pat Leahy in the end zone and does not get back to the 20-yard line. Stopped at about the 17 or 18.
Just took 4 plays, 40 yards, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. So far, Todd is 5 for 10, 122 yards and a touchdown. The big man, Lamb Jones, 2 catches, but good for 88 yards. And noticing on that kickoff, you could see a change in attitude in the New York Jets. They were really more aggressive. They're back in this ball game. Now, Baltimore's going to have to kill that. They want to win.
And Leahy has really boomed his last 2 kickoffs deep into the end zone. Joe Washington gets about 3 yards on the first down carry. Let's update you on some scores of other games. Oh, Chicago went in front 3-0 at Three Rivers Stadium, and the Steelers said enough of this nonsense, 38-3.
In that ball game, I don't know if Cliff Stout played last week, but he played in this ball game today. Threw a touchdown pass.
It's going to ruin his image, getting into games like that.
Cleveland got their offense rolling again, defeating Tampa Bay 34-17. Brian Sapp passed for over 300 yards against that Tampa Bay defense.
They try and run the sweep with Joe Washington. Gets only about a yard. It'll be 3rd and long for Baltimore. The Colts did not get a first down the last time they had it. Had to punt from deep in their own territory. Jets wound up with good field position. And now it's 3rd down and 6.
On sweeps, the man who must make the play is the middle linebacker. In that case, number 54, Stan Blinka. He's coming over there, meets the charge of a non-rushing blocker, and comes in and makes the play. But what happens, the defensive line, they must keep the blockers away from the middle linebacker. Let him roam along that line of scrimmage.
Lincoln now goes out as they go with the 5th defensive back. Colts need 3 yards.
They got it.
Washington needs 6. He gets much more than that. A first down for Joe Washington and the Colts. Out to around the 44-yard line.
Jerry Holmes, number 47, finally brought him down, but that was a good call. Washington, it was a screen pass, and you'll see that he's out there with a couple of offensive linemen. You can see the linemen out. Big George Kuhn, 75, out in front, making an outstanding block, providing the way for Joe Washington to pick up the first down.
George Coons, who was the subject of one of our pregame show features, 2 years away from the NFL. The Notre Dame alum comes back this year.
He's had to work very, very hard to rehabilitate himself. He had a back problem. Just being out of the game for 2 years, it's tough enough to come back, but being out with an injury is even more so.
They spot the ball at the 43. It was a 21-yard play from Jones to Washington. 1st and 10 for the Colts. This time it's Curtis Dickey. Don't let him get in the open field. Wrapped up by Bobby Jackson, the cornerback. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Bob Costas and Len Dawson in Baltimore, where the Colts jumped out to a 14-0 lead. The Jets have come back to tie it at 14-all. 6:19 to play in the first half. 2nd down and 6 for the Colts at their own 47. They pitch it back. And Curtis Dickey gets about 3 yards to the 50, where it will be 3rd down and 3.
They keep trying to get wide, trying to get Curtis Dickey, number 27, wide. They give him some room to run. Of course, the New York Jets are well aware of that, and they didn't give him any room at all that time. Miami continues to win.
Dolphins now 3-1. New Orleans still winless. And the Giants go to 1-3 as they are beaten by L.A. The Ram record now even as they've won 2 straight after dropping their first 2.
The Rams looks like they're putting things back together after losing the first couple of ball games.
Joe Washington and Don McCauley in the backfield on the 3rd down play. Burt Jones will heave it deep. He wants Roger Carr, and a lunging catch inside the 10. Roger Carr with a great reception. Four-yard play.
That play worked for one big reason, besides the fact that Burt Jones threw a nice pass. Look at all the time he has to throw. Stepping up, no one is impairing his vision. Donald Dykes, 26, is behind Roger Carr by a step, and a great catch by number 81, Roger Carr. Now, the Colts are very much in a position to put some more points on the board with 4:50 remaining in the half and counting down.
Carr historically has had good success against the Jets. In 1975, he caught a 90-yard touchdown pass from Jones against them. This is Curtis Dickey on 1st down, and the rookie, the #1 draft choice, gets to the 4, picking up about 4 yards on the play. Dickey was the second running back selected in this year's draft after the Lions took Billy Sims, #1.
He really got popped, and I think he coughed up the ball. The Jets felt that he fumbled the football. But the officials are right there, and they say it is now 2nd down.
Talking about Roger Carr in 1976 against the Jets, on just 5 catches, he had 210 yards receiving in 1 game. So he loves to play against New York.
That was the longest reception for Roger Carr and the Colts so far in this young season.
2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Less than 4 minutes to play. Cleveland Franklin takes the pitch, lowers his head, breaks a tackle, gets close to the goal line, but is stopped short of it.
He was really wrapped. Number 54, Blinka, really hit him, and somehow he maintained his feet to pick up some more yards. A pitch out, the big fullback, 38 Franklin. You're going to see coming in right now, he's going to take a real shot right there, Blinka, but he did not wrap his arms around him. So consequently, the big fullback kept his legs churning and got down to, well, it's a 1-yard line anyway, or inside the 1.
And from there, it's 3rd and goal. Walt Michaels watching as the Colts attempt to take the lead. McCauley tries to vault over. No signal yet. Colts think it's a touchdown. The officials apparently don't agree.
That was a great defensive effort by the New York Jets. McCauley is excellent at goal line plays, and Mike McCormick, apparently the head coach of Baltimore, decides we're going to go for it. You take a look at that football. It's only a couple of inches away. I'm sure they'll run basically either a quarterback sneak or the same type of play up and over the line.
Fourth, less than a yard for the touchdown. Curtis
He didn't get it. He didn't get it.
The Jets are celebrating, and they have stopped them. They had 1st and goal at the 8. They had 3rd and goal from the 1. They had 4th and goal from a foot away. They do not score. The Jets take over. This is still a tie game, 14-all, with 2 minutes and 28 seconds to play in the first half. We'll return to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore right after this message.
I used to run through airports. Now I fly through them. With new Hertz #1 Express service, I fly non-stop from my plane to my car without stopping at the counter. If you ask for #1 Express when you make your reservation, your Ford or other fine car and contract will be waiting at the #1 Express booth. Once again, Hertz puts you in the driver's seat faster than anybody else.
This Bud's for everyone who puts it down in black and white.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Here's the replay, and it's not a good play. I don't think so, because it takes too long to develop. You see Pratt's pulling, but that gives the Jets an opportunity to get some penetration, which they did. I say, as opposed to getting that ball to, say, McCulley and let him go and jump over, because they only had about a couple of inches to go for the touchdown.
They faked it to McCauley, but the second man through, Curtis Dickey, couldn't punch it over. You see how much they came up short by, less than a yard. Now with their backs to the wall, but the score still tied at 14. The Jets take over. And Todd wants to throw out of the end zone. Todd lofting one to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Wesley Walker. Covered by Nesby Glasgow, the free safety.
They actually had 2 men over. They had 47, Larry Brazil, and the cornerback, Glasgow, the safety. And Todd was just looking to say, maybe I can get somebody free, and I'm going to unload this ball, and we could get 6 points with the great speed that we have to the outside. Because a running play, he'd have to hand the ball off in the end zone. Any penetration by the Colts, it could be 2 points.
2:24 remaining in the first half. First quarter belonged to Baltimore. They went up by a score of 14-0. Clark Gaines carrying, try to get them a little yardage to work with. wedges it out to around the 4-yard line. The Jets have come back, and they have tied the game up at 14 apiece. And just a moment ago, a great goal line stand prevented the Colts from taking the lead and preserved the tie.
Right now, Baltimore called timeout. 2:14 remaining. Third down coming up. They feel they're going to stop them on this third down play. If they throw the ball and it's completed, they'll call another timeout probably before the 2-minute warning. In any case, they got a timeout now. 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first half. The 2-minute warning will come up, so that'll be another timeout for Baltimore. But the first thing they have to do is stop them, and for the Jets, they've got to come up with the first down.
It's third down and 6 yards to go, and we'll be back with that third down play for Richard Todd and the Jets with 2:14 left in the first half in just a moment.
A super automotive value from Sears. Sears Heavy Duty 48 Shock. Designed for control and comfort. Now on sale at our lowest price of the year. Only $8.88 each. You save 30%.
No matter what you spend on tires, you know you can count on Sears. Sears Guardsman Bias Ply, our most economical tire. As low as $22.88.
At the home of the diehard.
Arco Graphite, the black super oil, challenges the best oil from Mobil. Quaker State and Pennzoil on gas economy. Fact, Arco Graphite is better, squeezing out more miles per gallon, saving you more gas money than any leading motor oil. So squeeze out the most gas for your money. Use Arco Graphite, the super oil that's fact, not friction. Look for the Arco Graphite refund offer during September and October.
NBC brought it to television first. The spectacular plays, the memorable moments. The World Series is back where it belongs, beginning October 14th on NBC.
Couple of upsets. Philadelphia beaten at St. Louis 24-14.
Well, there's a score that's not an upset. Danny White passed two touchdowns. Dallas beat Green Bay 28-7.
2 minutes and 14 seconds left. It's third down and about 6 yards to go for Todd and the Jets. To the sideline, incomplete, and they'll have to punt from the end zone. Derek Hatchett had the coverage on Johnny Lamb Jones. Hatchett has had a baptismal under fire in this his rookie season out of Texas. He has faced Lamb Jones twice, and in between, Lynn Swan of Pittsburgh and Billy White Shoes Johnson of Houston.
That's some tough competition that he's had to go against. Lamb Jones came up with a couple of receptions today. One, a long one, 88 yards and 2 receptions. 2:10 remaining, so that 2-minute warning is going to help the Baltimore Colts, and they should have excellent field position after this punt.
Chuck Ramsey's first punt hurt his AFC leading average, which was 45.4 coming into the game. His only kick today carried just 27 yards. Nesby Glasgow is the deep man, standing at the 45 of the Jets. Colts put on a rush, come close to it. Glasgow tracking it down and fumbling it. Loose football to the sideline, and let's see who comes up with it. Baltimore does. The Colts breathing easier as they almost gave it back to the Jets, and now Baltimore has about 2 minutes to work with, and they're already close to field goal range.
2 minutes and 1 second on the clock, which means that they'll get a playoff, and then the 2-minute warning will come about. Take a look right here. Glasgow knew that he had to go after that ball, and he could hit it and even knock it out of bounds, and it still would have been Baltimore's ball, but he first had to get to the football. They have excellent field position right now. 36-yard line.
Jones, fumble on the snap. Jones comes up with the football, takes a loss, and he's upset that he was hit. He feels late by Marty Lyons. Jones is arguing for a roughing call. He won't get it.
Well, he was roughed. Marty Lyons did hit him, but I think that was a situation where he couldn't stop.
This officially is the 2-minute warning. We have 1 minute and 57 seconds to play in the first half. When we come back, it'll be second down and 11 for Baltimore at the Jet 37.
This Bud's for everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do,
This bud's for you.
Does the pump loom large in your life?
The K cars are here!
Front-wheel drive Plymouth Reliant K, the American way to beat the pump. America's highest mileage 6-passenger car. If Reliant had rear-wheel drive, the engine, transmission, and drive shaft would crowd into people space. But with Reliant's front-wheel drive, the whole drivetrain's up front for the best 6-passenger mileage in America. Reliant K from Plymouth, the American way to beat the pump.
Bob Costas and Len Dawson in Baltimore were tied at 14, but the Colts have a chance to snap that tie before the half.
Yeah, 1:57 remaining in this first half. The last play was a bad one, a bad exchange between the quarterback and the center. They had 11 yards to go for first down. 4 wide receivers in the ball game, or 3 wide receivers in the ball game for Baltimore now.
Jones on 2nd and 11. Again, uncoils that rifle arm and hits Randy Burke. Burke makes his 3rd reception of the first half. It's good for 17 yards and a first down to the 20.
They brought 84 Burke into the ball game 3 or 4 times, and he has come up with first down catches 3 times. One of the reasons is, besides the fact that he ran a good route and made the catch, is that Burt Jones, as I said before, is getting a lot of time to survey the defense. No one is impairing his vision. He's able to take a look, step, and throw the football without anybody impairing the vision. And naturally, when that happens, you're going to throw a good pass.
Baltimore took a timeout. They now have 1 remaining. Greg Buttle, the defensive captain, goes over to the sideline to talk things over with the coaches.
What Burt Jones does not want to do now is give up the football. He throws a pass. He wants to make sure that this man is going to have a good chance to catch it. If it's going to be real tight, what he should do is throw the football away, because they want to come away with some points.
Jones, meanwhile, not satisfied, and let's see if they're going to take their final timeout here. They had 1 remaining, started to line up. 1:51 remaining. And Baltimore apparently will stop the clock again. They'll be back with their 1st and 10 play from the 20-yard line in just a minute.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. That's what she stands for, our Statue of Liberty.
I'm Wesley Walker of the New York Jets, and that statue means a lot to me.
It's the idea of people helping people.
That's the spirit of United Way in the tri-state area.
United Way works to help so many people. The tired, the poor, the people who need help the most. For instance, here on Staten Island, there's a unique program called Meals on Wheels. They provide 2 meals a day to hundreds of shut-ins. Most of these folks would have a tough time making it without this kind of aid. The United Way and the National Football League, through its NFL Charities Foundation, make it happen. The world needs more people willing to help those who are yearning to breathe free. That's why United Way works here, and thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Apparently, that was an official's timeout. The fans here at Memorial Stadium don't appreciate it. It was not a charge timeout against Baltimore. They had called one initially, then the clock was stopped again. So they have used up only 1 timeout. They still have 1 remaining. 1st and 10 from the Jet 20 with 1:51 left. And Jones over the middle to the end zone for Burke. It's incomplete. Ken Schroy was there on the coverage. Schroy is playing strong safety in place of Schaefer Suggs, who sustained a rib injury here in the first half and left on a stretcher.
That time they did put a little pressure on Burt Jones. They had to do it by sending the linebackers after him, which means that there's man-to-man coverage in that secondary. Number 28, Darrell Ray, got a hand up in the air and I'm sure impaired the vision of the receiver.
They're already well within the range of Steve Nickemeyer. If they gain no further yardage, a field goal would be about a 37-yard.
Yeah, there's safety blitz everybody after him this time.
Jones gets it away. Touchdown! It's Randy Burke. He catches his 4th pass of the first half. This one is good for 20 and a score. The 2nd touchdown pass by Jones in the first half, and the Colts regain the lead at 20-14.
That was a safety blitz. You can live by the safety blitz, and sometimes you can die by the safety blitz. Jones read it. See the linebackers are fading back. The safety man's coming in. Man-to-man coverage. Randy Burke, 84, has his man beaten in the corner of the end zone. That's 48 Troy. Comes up with a ball and a big touchdown for the Baltimore Colts.
And as you can see by the numbers on the screen, a big first half for Randy Burke, the third-year man from Kentucky. Mickemeyer is 2 of 2 on point after tries so far. Landry holds. Mickemeyer kicks and sneaks it inside the right upright. A minute and 42 seconds remaining in the first half. Baltimore jumps in front again, 21-14.
That did not take very long for Burt Jones to engineer a touchdown drive, throwing finally to number 84, Randy Burke. That last play for the New York Jets, they have not been putting any pressure on Burt Jones. They know that they have to. They tried it with the safety blitz, which means that the defensive backs are covering the receivers man for man. And that time, Randy Burke beat his man, Troy, to the corner of the end zone, and Jones was able to get the ball off, and it was 6 points. The thing that's been bothering the Jets the last couple of years is that defense, and in particular, trying to get a pass rush on the quarterback. They still have not solved that problem. Jones is 11 for 15, 165 yards and 2 touchdowns so far in the first half.
Mickemeyer teeing it up. The Jets still have 3 timeouts remaining and a minute and 42 seconds with which to work.
They have plenty of time. They have 3 timeouts left, and with Bruce Harper back there to return the kicks, any type of field possession and the great speed that they have, they can get right back on the board.
Bryant Gumbel and NFL 80 from New York at halftime. And some great games to report on and show you highlights of. Cleveland-Tampa Bay was a wide-open affair. Cardinals upsetting previously unbeaten Philadelphia. Bryant will tell you all about it at halftime.
This will be returned.
Harper at the 3. Doesn't get to the 20. Good kick coverage again by the Colts. There for the tackle was Ed Smith, number 52.
Brian DeRue, number 87, also did a good job on that kick coverage. Did not get very good field position. 19-yard line. 89 yards to go. Or 81 yards to go. I don't want to make it any more difficult for the Jets than it is.
Still a long way. Derek Gaffney goes out wide to the right as he makes his first appearance of the afternoon. Richard Todd
has got him open.
That is Gaffney for the catch at the 40-yard line. They pick up 20 or 21 on the play. Nesby Glasgow cut him down after the catch. Jets lining up quickly. Will not use one of their timeouts. Still have 3 remaining. Clock moving. 1:18 left. Todd running that 2-minute drill.
Now he better call timeout. Now he better. Yes, he does.
Bruce Harper was tackled by Barry Krause. Krause, the second-year linebacker from Alabama.
Most of the time, when you get a pretty good gain like they did on that to Derek Gaffney, it's a good thing to call a timeout because it's going to take time for your offensive lineman to get up there, get set, and the defense to come on, get on sides, and for the official to let you go. Anytime that you make a gain of 20 yards or so, general rule of thumb is call a timeout then. Stop the clock.
That was Pete McCulley, whom you saw Todd talking with. McCulley is the Jets quarterback coach, former head coach of the San Francisco 49ers.
They're in good shape. 1:06 remaining in the first half. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Ball on the 41-yard line.
The Jets have never led. They trailed 7-zip, 14-zip, came back to tie it 14-all a moment ago. Randy Burke gathering in the touchdown pass from Burt Jones, and the Colts won in front again, 21-14.
Right now for the New York Jets, they should be thinking points. Not necessarily they want a touchdown, but they should definitely be thinking points. At least an opportunity to get 3.
Walker wide left, Gaffney wide right, 2nd down and 3. The ball at about the 46-yard line with just over a minute remaining. Richard Todd throwing and finding Gaffney, who skips out of bounds to stop the clock with Derek Hatchett there on the coverage, but too late.
That took 5 seconds. 1:01 remaining on the clock, so they're in excellent position right now. A couple more first downs and they're in field goal range.
How often are you likely to see 2 guys named Derek in on the same play? Derek Hatchett covering Derek Gaffney.
Maybe we'll see it again on this play. It seemed to work the last time.
With a first down at the Baltimore 44. Todd with a long count and a straight drop. Under pressure. Shakes off one tackler. Throws incomplete. Almost an interception on the play by Larry Brazil. Mike Gosdowski was putting heavy pressure on Richard Todd.
That was more than heavy pressure. He had a hold of Richard Todd. Richard Todd was just trying to get rid of that football, and it's a good thing he threw a lousy pass, because had it been a good pass, it would have been intercepted by the Baltimore Colts. 71, Gosdowski coming in now. He takes the inside, and he's got a hold of Todd right now. His idea now, get rid of the football, because he gets nailed right after he gets rid of the football by Herb Orvis, number 88.
Yeah. Brazil intercepted a Todd pass in the end zone earlier in the game, ran it back out 64 yards, almost burned him a second time. Here's Todd over the middle, and Derek Gaffney is wide open. Gaffney gets to the 21-yard line.
We got a flag down back about the 49-yard line. I believe it's going to be against the New York Jets.
Disgruntled Richard Todd will see the big game negated. The clock is stopped with 47 seconds left. The Jets still have 2 timeouts remaining. Todd trying to fire his club up.
Well, Richard's getting some heat, something that Burt Jones hasn't felt in the first half anyway. He escaped the play before, had Gosdowski hanging around him.
Holding, number 79, offense.
Marvin
Second
Powell.
down.
Marvin Powell, 79, called for holding, but Richard's getting some heat back there.
Marvin Powell, who says that his idol is William F. Buckley.
I heard that.
And his objective in life is to be the first black Republican president. 47 seconds left. The long and medium-range passing game for the Jets has come alive a bit in this first half, instead of just the dump-off stuff to Clark Gaines and the other backs. Here is Todd throwing it out deep. Wesley Walker got behind his man, but couldn't quite catch up with it. It'll be 3rd down and 20.
Once again, he's getting some heat back there. He was able to step up. Gosdowski coming in, taking an outside, and he gets the ball away. Walker had a step. Had the ball been perfectly thrown, it would have been 6.
Derek Hatchett and Nesby Glasgow were there on the coverage.
See,
Walker had them beat.
What that does to a quarterback, it disrupts his timing when you have to make adjustments and jump in the pocket and scramble away from a defensive lineman. Oftentimes you don't throw it as well as you can.
3rd and 20 with 30 seconds left. They'll say he was in the act of throwing it, apparently, or they will go with the quarterback sack rule where they blow the early whistle. In any event, it's not a fumble.
He had a hold of the quarterback, and there was nothing that he could do. What he was trying to do is throw the football to save time.
Officially, it's ruled a sack. Give credit for it to Mike Gosdowski, number 71.
You're going to see what heat is all about, what pressure on the quarterback is. The situation where it was 3rd and long, he had to come in. Now he's looking for a way out. And he wasn't able to go up front or straight ahead. You can see that he tried to get rid of the ball. There wasn't anybody around there to throw it to anyway. If he'd had the time and he got rid of it, it would have been intentionally grounding the football.
The Jets are letting as much time as possible run off the clock before they kick. Baltimore still has a timeout left, but they don't use it. Ramsey's kick with just 3 seconds to 1 out of bounds, and the clock stops with 1 second to go.
And that was a shank shot. That was a shank kick, which is going to give Baltimore one more play.
Now, if you're Burt Jones, do you throw one up and hope for the big bomb to click or pass interference?
Why not? You're out there to score. A lot of teams these days are putting like 3 wide receivers on the same side, say on the right side, and throwing that ball up near. I think Atlanta did that to New Orleans here a couple times last year. It was successful.
Call it the Big Ben play because it's designed to beat the clock. That was just an 18-yard kick by Ramsey of the Jets. And Jones has just that in mind. He is heaving one deep, And it is intercepted by Kenny Schroy. Schroy goes down in the end zone, and that's the end of the first half. So the Colts take a 7-point lead into the locker room at halftime. The score after the first 30 minutes, Baltimore 21 and the Jets 14.
We want to make you smile.
Welcome back. I see you brought a friend. My boss hasn't smiled the whole trip. My back.
I think you'll like our beds.
Big room.
Everything all right?
That's fine. Call me for dinner in an hour.
We made him smile.
Come to Holiday Inn where your style says we're number one people pleasing.
When every minute can cost you an acre, you need a chainsaw you can depend on. So you grab your Home Light going in, and before long, you're walking out a winner. And Home Light can make you a winner right now. Buy any one of these 5 selected chainsaws and get a rugged carry case free. Get the Home Light that's just right for you, and a carry case to go with it, free, from Home Light, the Chainsaw King.
Next Saturday, it's Pennant Fever as the Astros battle the Dodgers for best in the West. Plus, coverage of a crucial matchup as the race for the pennant goes down to the wire. And next Sunday, start your day with NFL 80, followed by coverage of exciting NFL regional action. Telecasts include the Colts versus the Never Say Die Dolphins, the Broncos-Browns battle, and the Bills-Chargers clash. Check local listings for the game in your area.
The Colts band takes over at halftime in Baltimore with the Colts, leading the Jets 21-14. Joe Washington, a TD run. Burt Jones, touchdown passes to Don McCauley and Randy Burke. For the Jets, Kevin Long, a touchdown rushing. Clark Gaines latched onto a scoring pass from Richard Todd. 21-14, we're coming right back.
Every hour they live brings us closer to death. Who are the boys from Brazil? Gregory Peck, the doctor creating a new super race. Laurence Olivier.
And believe it or not, she's been accepted at all 3.
You mean your daughter's talking Ivy League and you still don't have an Irving Trust personal banker?
You may not know this, but I'm the youngest at the firm.
You mean you've just been made a partner and you still don't have a personal banker?
That's even more than I expected.
Others who go...
And you still don't have a personal banker?
If you're doing rather well, why settle for just a bank when you can have your own personal banker at Irving Trust?
This is... Pat Leahy will kick off for the Jets to start quarter number 3. Curtis Dickey, the first-round draft choice from Texas A&M, will return it, but not too successfully. He's dumped.
Nose ineffective, but I've had mine broken, and it does.
Joe Washington pays for a couple of yards as he tried to vault over the Jet defense. Stan Blinka, the middle linebacker, hit him.
Ken Schroy, number 48, is playing the strong safety position. Number 23, Schaefer Suggs, was injured in the first half, and we understand that he has separated rib cartilage. He's not going to be back this afternoon.
Second down and a long 8 for Burt Jones and the Colts. Opening minute of the third quarter. Burt looking and connecting with his man. A diving catch by Ray Butler. Butler, a pleasant surprise for this club. 4th-round draft choice, a rookie from USC.
That time, Burt Jones just a half roll to his right. Butler went down and hooked in front of the defensive back, fired that football. And it's very difficult to come. You see Burt rolling to his right. Mendenhall, the center, out there to help him give some protection. There's 3 Jet defenders around there, but he stopped. When you can fire the ball like Burt Jones does, it's very difficult to stop that pass.
They got about 13 and a first down at the 32. Here's Joe Washington slithering through a very slim hole and picking up good yardage out to about the 37. Abdul Salam made the tackle.
Abdul Salam on the stop along with Stan Blinka.
And for the New York Jets on first down, that's too much yardage to give up because it makes it too easy for Burt Jones to call the next 2 plays. With all that dust flying around down there, Joe Washington's got to have a problem running in that infield. We need some defoggers or something on those glasses that he's wearing.
13:08 remaining in the third quarter. Joe Washington gets the call again. He's close to the first down. Ron Crosby, the right side linebacker, wraps him up.
I like the way that number 28, Darrell,
for the year. Swings it out to Ray Butler, and Butler's going absolutely nowhere as the Jets were ready for him. Bobby Jackson got there first.
Good play by number 40, Bobby Jackson of the New York Jets. Big George Kuntz, number 75, the offensive tackle for Baltimore, was coming out on that quick screen. Jackson read it real well. He got to the ball carrier before that big tackle got to him. And that is real good, taking a good move on Bobby Jackson's part.
Burt Jones breaks the Colts out of their huddle. He has been especially sharp all day long. And that shoulder, which has bothered him for a couple of seasons, apparently not presenting a problem any longer. He is still rifling them, and there's an example. Reese McCall caught it, fumbled it.
Give it to the Jets.
You got it. The Jets have the time in the second half, still trailing by a touchdown at 21-14. First and 10 from their own 38. Todd with a play fake. Drop and throw. Got his man. Over the middle, Wesley Walker upended, but big yardage into Baltimore territory at the 40.
Glasgow, number 25, Hesby Glasgow, really leveled Wesley Walker, and he has been hampered by injuries. You can see him limping off the field right now. He's been hampered with important drive for the Jets. It's going to be an indicator of just how badly they want to play out there this afternoon.
Johnny Lamb Jones in motion as the play begins. Todd retreating deep, and his pass was batted down by Greg Fields. It was intended for gains out of the backfield, but it never got to him.
That was a screen pass. The object of a screen pass is to initially hit the defensive lineman to slow them down, to let the screen form, because if you don't slow up their charge, then the screen isn't going to be any good. As you can see right now, Barnes is flying in there. 79 Fields is in there. He got his big paw up in the air and batted it away. You can see Clark Gaines, number 21, is standing out there all by himself.
Bobby Jones is wide to the left. Johnny Lamb Jones wide to the right. Durking and Gaines are the running backs set behind Todd. 11:16 to play in the quarter. Second down and 10 from the Baltimore 41. Todd has time, and he has an interception. He threw it right into the arms of Kim Anderson. Anderson was in as an extra defensive back, and he...
As soon as he released the ball, and the ball just sailed on, took off.
The Jet player who was shaken up on the last play was tight end Mickey Schuler. He left the field under his own power. Cleveland Franklin carries on first down for Baltimore and gets only about a yard before Abdul Salam stops him. Earlier, Wesley Walker caught a long pass on this last drive for the Jets and then left the field after being tackled. The word is that he has a bruised thigh, and he might not return. It's been a heck of a year for Wesley Walker, who came into the game nursing a neck sprain, a bruised calf, and a pulled hamstring. Now he has a bruised thigh to go with it.
Other than that, he's feeling real fine, though, I guess.
10:35 left in quarter number 3. Colts lead it 21-14. Second down and 8 for them. Incomplete. Bobby Jackson was there. They're going to call pass interference, though. That gives the Colts a first down at their own 43. Joe Washington with the carry, and Washington gets out near midfield, picking up about 7. It'll be second down and 3 for Baltimore, but first, let's go back to where the Colts lead the Jets 21-14. Again, Joe Washington carries. He is close to a first down, apparently a bit shy of it. It'll be third and short yardage now for Baltimore. The clock moving with 9:38 to play in the third quarter.
And I see Burt Jones coming over to the side just to talk with head coach.
Curtis Dickey, the rookie, gets the first down.
He got it. He didn't get it by very much.
Curtis Dickey carried near the 45.
He did get the first down, though.
Dickey didn't play when these two teams met in the season opener, played sparingly in the second week against Pittsburgh, then got 95 yards last week against the Oilers.
They brought McCulley in on that third down situation along with Dickey to provide the block, and he did make a good block at the point of attack.
8:35 on the clock. Ball at the 45 of the Jets. Jones will throw on first down.
He got him open.
Short, throws long. There's Joe Washington. Check it. Make it Ray Butler. Butler makes the catch and gets inside the 5-yard line of the Jets. A 41-yard pickup down to the 4.
For those who played sandlot football, and it's the old pump and go, that's what it is. He pumped. Jackson, number 40, took the bait. Butler was wide open. The ball was really slightly underthrown. He was so wide open, I'm sure that Burt Jones just wanted to make sure he got him the football. But that was the old pump. Now they're inside the 5-yard line.
So Ray Jay Butler hooks up with Burt Jones for 41 yards, setting up first and goal. Jones will throw for the 6 points, but it's over the head of Mac Austin and incomplete. Eastern Shore had been injured, reactivated this week, almost scored a touchdown. Curtis Dickey will. Dickey did not have to use much.
There, 61, Robert Pratt going through the hole, completely clean. That offensive guard, when he's clean, you know that
three so far. We'll try and tack on the conversion. There it is. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WNBC TV, New York.
Bob Costas with Len Dawson. Steve Mickemeyer to kick off. Bruce Harper and Paul Darby wait deep. Darby at the 10. 20, 25, 30, 32-yard line, 30. The Jets back from 1 14-point deficit. Let's see if he can do it again. The Jets have never led in this game. Scott Durkin carries on first down and gets about 5 yards.
Scott Durkin on the carry.
A reminder that Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC, it's Games People Play. You'll see the exciting Soapbox Derby, the Cabbies Demolition Derby, and round 2 of the DJ Fast Talk competition, plus the Shark Rodeo, arcade games, and more, all Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on NBC. Whether or not that will qualify me for round 2 of the DJ Fast Talk contest, I don't know. Clark Gaines carries and qualifies for about a yard and a headache administered by Fred Cook, number 72, who hit him.
Yeah, Fred Cook and number 88, Herb Orvis, getting off the pile right there. He tried to cut back, but he cut back away from Cook right into Herb Orvis.
Barnes and Cook on the stop at the 40.
Bruce Harper comes in now in the Jet backfield on 3rd down and 4. Clock moving with 7 minutes and 10 seconds to play, third quarter.
Out of the lineup, 2 linebackers of Baltimore. Into the lineup, 2 defensive backs. We are all expecting a pass.
And you're going to get it. Here's Todd with time and with the receiver. Harper out of the backfield for a Jet first down. He's into Baltimore territory at the 45. They got 15 yards on the play. Sanders Shiver shoved him out of bounds.
Out of bounds by Smith.
That time, Richard Todd had an opportunity to take a look downfield. They're double covering the outside receivers. Bruce Harper is an outstanding receiver. He has time to step and throw. Wide open in the flat. Harper picks up a very important first down for the New York Jets when they're down by 14, 28-14 with 6:50 remaining in the third quarter.
On first down, Todd wants to throw. He's pursued by Mike Barnes, and his pass is deflected and apparently not intercepted. Pinckney thought he did, but he trapped it. Let's look at what's going on in some other games. 45 remaining in the third period. Jones in motion. They go with the draw play, trying to spring Bruce Harper. Harper gets only to the line of scrimmage, and then the Colts hold a team meeting on his body. And 10 yards needed for the first.
Well, those big defensive linemen are getting ready to tee off.
Jets affording Todd some time off the hands of Johnny Lamb Jones. Jones had snuck in. Kick with Nesby Glasgow deep, and here's a fake, but Ramsey is dumped. Racing in to make the play was Larry Brazil. Rick has to be happy with the way things are breaking. His club leads by 14. Burt Jones will go right to the air, trying to add to it. Skips out of some trouble in the backfield, holds onto the ball, and skips to the turf after picking up 4 or 5 yards.
He's been listening to his head coach, Mike McCormick. Mike told him he did not want him running with the football and challenging those linebackers downfield, not with the tender shoulder that he has had for the last couple of years. So Burt must have been hit often enough. He was hit in the first game against the New York Jets when he went in for a touchdown. Developed that good old hook slide.
5:20 on the third quarter clock. He got 5 on the play. 2nd and 5 from the 35. Joe Washington. Jitterbugging his way down to about the 32 for a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 2. Abdul Salam in on the stop with Greg Buttle.
Short yardage team for Baltimore coming in now. Dickey, McCulley, Alston, the other tight end, coming in on this short yardage situation.
A Baseball final is posted on the scoreboard here. Cincinnati beat Houston 7-5. Reds keeping their flickering hopes in the Western Division of the National League alive with that victory. Curtis Dickey.
No, sir. No, sir.
Let's see if they go with the long count, trying to draw the Jets offside. We get a whistle before Bragg can kick it. And it might
size as opposed to putting your punter in there.
So now Mike Bragg awaiting the snap, the 13-year veteran, longtime Washington Redskin, angling one for the sidelines.
Got a good one.
Nicely done at about the 4-yard line.
Todd is going to be back about 8 or 9 yards behind that offensive center.
The lone setback is Clark Gaines. He gets the call and about 2 yards. Herb Orvis makes the tackle.
Clark Gaines on the carry. Tackled by Herb Orvis.
Number 56, Ed Simonini. They say he's too small to play. I don't know who said that. He isn't too small. He's about 210, but he reads the play very well. He has to fight off some blockers, but when they get to him, you have to figure that those offensive linemen are outweighing him about 50 pounds.
From the 8-yard line, it's second down and about 8 yards to go. They go with a quick flip out to Johnny Lamb Jones, trying to spring him so he can use his speed. He fights his way to the 14-yard line, and they'll be about 2 yards short of the first with third down coming.
Well, what this young man is going to learn when he gets more of his experience is he has that great speed, but they're in a situation right now where they need first downs. He cut back and lost a little ground. I think had he gone forward, he might have picked up that first down, which is a lot more important than other things right now.
NBC brought it to television first. The spectacular plays and the memorable moments. And the World Series is back where it belongs. Beginning October 14th in prime time, the World Series on NBC Sports. Third down, they need 2. Durking breaks a tackle in the backfield and gets the first down yardage. So that saves the Jets from having to punt deep in their own territory.
That's a very big first down for the New York Jets. They've got to get something going. The clock is beginning to work against them. 2 minutes now remaining in the third quarter.
First and 10 at the 18.
You're down 14 points. You can't go ahead until you catch up.
Lamb Jones is wide to the right, and Bobby Jones is wide to the left. Kevin Long is the lone setback, and this is Kevin Long, who scored a first-half touchdown, trying to take it wide and not with much success, as the Colt pursuit was excellent. Fred Cook was there first. There he is getting up, number 72.
On the carry, Kevin Long. On the tackle, Fred Cook.
We got 1:30 remaining in this third quarter. They aren't picking up that much on first down when they're running with the football. They're not going to stick with that very long. They're going to start throwing the football if they don't come up with at least 4 and 5 yards on first down.
They got 3 on that play. It's second down and 7.
Oh, no.
Again, they tried to get it out to Lamb Jones, but he couldn't find the handle as Derek Hatchett came up on the coverage. Derek Hatchett has said of his former Texas teammate, Johnny Lamb Jones, that he has that great acceleration after the pass route is halfway finished. You'll be running alongside of him, and then all of a sudden he just blows by you. As Hatchett put it, if he's even, he's leaving.
That's right. There's another speedster over there, Wesley Walker, number 85, who's had nothing but injury problems all year long. The latest, a thigh injury.
He was questionable for this game with a variety of aches and pains earlier in the week. Courageously, he played, and played pretty well until he was wrapped up earlier. And there's the sack by Greg Fields as they got in on Richard and leading the AFC. He has had kicks of 27 and 18 yards today, and he was dumped for a loss while trying to pass off a fake the last time he was called upon to kick. Now, from just across his own goal line, he sends a relatively low kick, spinning down to Nesby Glasgow. Glasgow breaks the tackle, and goodbye! Nesby Glasgow is into the end zone. There's a flag down on the play, however.
Signal.
Delay. Fair catch signal was given, and then the ball was run by another player. Offense, first down.
The next time.
The Colts are still in good shape, leading by 14 as the final seconds tick away in the third quarter, and with the ball near midfield, Joe Washington takes a heck of a wallop and gets nothing on the first.
Providing a lot of protection for Burt Jones this afternoon.
As the fourth quarter starts at 2nd and 10 from the Colt 47, there's a big hole there for Joe Washington. He takes it around the outside. He has a first down, and he's out of bounds in Jet territory. He's down to around the 36-yard line of New York.
Well, he really has great quickness. I don't know about his straight ahead speed, but he had enough speed that he could outrun Buttle because Buttle was chasing him all the way. He sees the opening and he's jumping outside. You'll see Buttle coming after him right here. Sort of has the angle, but the quickness of Joe Washington got him to the outside and got him the first down. He's really an active runner, an active player. You never know which way he's going to go. He has that ability to cut seemingly in any direction at any time.
And they give it to him on first down. He pitches it back to Burt Jones. Look at this play. Burt Jones gets out of bounds, avoids being hit, and they pick up about 5 yards on the play. I don't know whether Jones is so happy with that maneuver, though, since it exposed him to possible damage.
Well, he had the out of bounds to help him. You see, he stopped right there, throws the ball back. It is a lateral. Burt sees he's going to get what he can get, and he's going to get out of bounds. I remember that happened to Abner Haynes did that to Joe Willie Namath one year, and Abner was gone the next day, I believe.
It was Abner, of course, in that famous overtime game that you played in with the Dallas Texans against the Oilers back in 1962, who at the start of the overtime won the toss and elected to kick to the clock, a decision they're still trying to decipher.
He said that's the only way we'd have the win in the sixth quarter.
You won the game anyway. No gain on that play.
Atlanta is coming alive against San Francisco in the fourth quarter. They're leading San Francisco, Atlanta 20-3 over the 49ers. So it appears that San Francisco will suffer their first loss of the season.
Buffalo has already won today. They beat Oakland and beat them soundly. The surprising Bills are now 4-0. The Colts are 1-2. The Jets are 0-3. So obviously both teams need a win to prevent falling way behind Buffalo. Wide open in the end zone was Mike Ciani.
Foul, number 93 defense, holding, number 69 offense, replay.
And they're a game back of Buffalo's 4-0. Jones threw it into a crowd, and on the ricochet, the Jets come up with an interception. Mike Ciani was the intended.
I don't think the Jets are either. I think they're going to have to come up throwing the football.
From their 15, there's the play fake. Todd with the drop, avoids the rush, tucks it in, keeps it, has 5 yards, has 10 yards, has about 4 on the play in the backfield.
Shot on the keeper, take out of bounds, 5-15. A flag on the play.
13:46 remaining in the game. Baltimore 28 and the Jets 14. Here's Fred Wyant holding against the Jets. That'll cost them the 14, the Todd game.
Put them deeper in the hole. They have not had good field position. They had the ball once on the 41-yard line, but there have been a couple of times I recall they're back near their own goal line. A long way to go. They're back there once again.
Since they were at the 15, this is half the distance to the goal line.
Number 66, offense.
The veteran Randy Rasmussen is caught holding in his 14th year out of Kearney State. Played on that Super Bowl club in 1969. And the Jets beat the Colts in January of 69, 16-7. Here's Todd in the end zone. Got to avoid the safety. Finds a receiver. Scott Durking gathers it in. A flag is thrown as he goes down.
Be face masking. That'll give them a first down.
Let's go to Bryant Gumbel at NFL 80 in New York.
Thank you, Bob. In Washington, the Washington Redskins have missed on an opportunity to tie the game. Joe Theismann trying to hit Art Monk, but stepping in the way, number 22, Dave Brown. Seattle still in front, 7-0 that ball game in the fourth quarter. Back to Bob Costas.
Back in Baltimore, Bob Costas and Len Dawson. The clock is stopped with 13 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. And here's Fred Wyant again.
Face mask, number 47, defense, first down.
Larry Brazil grabbed the face mask of Scott Durking. There's Brazil, number 47. He had that big interception and 64-yard return out of the end zone to blunt the Jet drive and set up a Baltimore touchdown a few moments later in the first half. Now the Jets have a first down just across their own 20. They call on Bruce Harper. Harper gets to about the 26. Gain of maybe 3 or 4 on the play. Joe Ehrman, who is seeing some action now, was in on the stop.
The man who really made that play was number 72, the defensive end, Fred Cook. He was about 5 yards deep in the backfield. He made Harper change directions. They're going to have to do something. They're going to do it without Wesley Walker. He will not return to the lineup this afternoon.
On 2nd down and 7, Ed Simonini goes out, and Kim Anderson comes in as a 5th defensive back. Jets keep it on the ground, though, with Harper. And it'll be 3rd down for New York. Kim Anderson came up and got in on the stop.
Bruce Harper carried. Tackled by Larry Brazil and Barry Krause.
Jets are looking to cross them up, but they're not doing it. And that clock is moving. 12:40, counting down. They're down 14 points, 28-14 in the 4th quarter.
Tight end Mickey Schuler goes out. 3 wide receivers, Bobby Jones, Johnny Lamb Jones, and Derek Gaffney. 3rd down, and let's call it 5. Todd stepping up in the pocket. Going to keep it. Needs 5 yards. Has much more than that. Look at Richard Todd go. And as they converge on him, he wisely slides down in Baltimore territory. 1st down for the Jets at the 48 of the Colts. A 22-yard scamper for Richard Todd.
It's a good move on Richard's part. Defensive ends were taking an outside rush, and the tackles just pushed the defensive ends right by. You can see 65 Fields, Rasmussen blocking up front. Big old hole there. Richards taking off, and he's going to get as much as he possibly can before going down. But they needed that 1st down to keep this drive alive.
Walt Michaels, his club tabbed as a contender at the beginning of the year. They're staring 0-4 in the face right now unless they can mount a comeback. Out of the backfield it goes to Durking. Scott Durking gets to about the 42-yard line, gaining about 6 on the play.
Taken out by Nesby Glasgow.
Next week on NBC Sports, Week 5 of the NFL season. Start your day with NFL 80 and host Bryant Gumbel with up-to-the-minute news, scores, and highlights. Then most of you will see the Steelers battle the Vikings or the Bills against the Chargers, plus other regional games. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Week 5 of the NFL on NBC, preceded a half hour before game time by Bryant Gumbel and NFL 80. 2nd down and a long 4 as we move inside 11 minutes to play. Kevin Long cut down at about the 40. Larry Brazil coming up from the corner to make the play.
Kevin Long on the carry.
I was talking about the 49ers and their ability to hit quickly. DeBerg to Freddie Solomon, 93 yards and a touchdown. Right now Atlanta still leads with 7:06 in the 4th quarter. They lead San Francisco 20-10.
3rd and 2. Bobby Jones goes out. 2 tight ends are in. Mickey Schuler and Jerome Barkham.
They've got 2 downs to pick it up. That's what they have to be thinking now. They got it now.
Kevin Long got about 7. Much more than what they needed. Larry Brazil tackles him, but too late. They're down around the 33. They still have 10 minutes and 40 seconds to work with. If they can cash in on this drive, they'll have plenty of time left.
What they should be doing right now is moving a little quicker than they are. They're down 14 points, as you said, and they've got to get things moving. Long going out of the ball game. Looks like he's hobbling a little bit.
Bobby Jones to the left. Johnny Lamb Jones to the right. 1st and 10 from the 33. Stay back for blocking, and the pass is completed to Bobby Jones. Jones trying to break out of the grasp of Larry Brazil, but he can't do it. They get about 8 on the play to the 25.
That time a defensive back came blitzing through there, hoping to get to Richard Todd, but he got that ball off in time where it was a completion, and he did not get sacked. Baltimore was going after him.
2nd and 2 with 9:45 remaining. Ball at the 25 of Baltimore. The Jets haven't put any points on the board in the 2nd half. They trailed 21-14 at halftime, 28-14 now. Decent statistical day for Richard Todd. Bruce Harper. Harper off tackle. Gets about 6. That's a 1st down.
Bruce Harper is much like Joe Washington in his ability to really accelerate in a hurry and to cut in any direction that he wants to, seemingly. And here you see right now he starts outside. Now plant that foot, wham, right upfield. He knows that he's got to pick up a couple of 1st downs for a 1st down. He even breaks the tackle. But he has that quickness and that ability to move very, very quickly in any direction.
1st and 10 at the 19, and the Jets might be in the process of giving us a ball game here. Reverse. Go with the reverse. Here's Lamb Jones. There's daylight for Lamb Jones. But the Colts quickly close it with Nesby Glasgow coming up from his safety spot.
And Richard Todd was over there throwing a block. They want to get this man with a great speed outside with some running room. You see the top of your screen. That was Richard Todd going in there to try to make a block. Chris Ward out in front. But they picked up good yardage on that one. Picked up 6 yards. They didn't break it wide open, but a 6-yard gain is a good gain.
From the 13, it's 2nd and 4. Todd to the air with time, with a receiver, but broken up by Derek Hatchett. Pass interference against Bobby Jones. It'll be 1st and goal for the Jets.
Well, that'll be against Hatchett 42.
That's what I meant. He was covering Jones and committed the pass.
There's so many Joneses out there, yes. But he looked like he was in pretty good position.
Number 42, defense.
You take a look at the top of your screen there. Bobby Jones, 89, going out for the pass, and it's a hook or a stop pattern, and he throws the ball in there. He's all over him right there, but it looked like that had he just gone around, he might have been in a position to intercept the football. But that's a big break for the Jets. 5 yards to go for a score. They need it badly.
1st and goal with 8:06 left. Kevin Long, looking for his 2nd touchdown, loses the football. Durking jumped on top of it. They're inside the 1-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
We've got one official saying touchdown. One official is saying touchdown. Here he is.
And they are going to give Long the touchdown. Let's look at this. It didn't appear to me as if he broke the plane, Len.
Well, the thing is that either he is in there, the ball pops loose also.
Well, he held the ball over the goal line, lunging with his hand, and held the ball itself, which is all that matters, over the goal line, and the replay does show that. So credit Kevin Long with his 2nd touchdown of the day. And here's Pat Leahy kicking the extra point. And the Jets are right back in it. Long has scored 2 of their 3 touchdowns. We have 7:55 remaining in the score. Baltimore 28, the Jets 21.
Could we see the McCulloch 610 chainsaw?
But you're Beavers.
Oh, it's not for us. It's a birthday present for our dad. He just doesn't have the bite he used to.
Well, the 610 sure has power to spare. Come on around back, boys.
Gosh, it starts faster than Dad, too.
That's the electronic ignition.
Gee.
And it's got anti-vibration for smooth cutting.
Gee whiz. What's that?
The chain brake for safety.
Wow.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Can it sing Happy Birthday? Take it easy, Barney.
McCulloch 610. Sawing is believing.
Has the pump got you in a bind?
The K cars are here!
Plymouth Reliant K. Highest mileage 6-passenger cars. The American way to beat the pump. 4-door, 2-door, or wagon. And with all the weight of Reliant's engine and drivetrain up front. You get the great traction of front-wheel drive. Reliant K from Plymouth. The American way to beat the pump.
It's Bryant Gumbel in New York. Let's update you on the early scores. All of these are finals. Buffalo 24, Oakland 7. They're 4-0. Houston beats Cincinnati by 3. Detroit 27, Minnesota 7. Chicago, a loser to Pittsburgh, lost big. Cleveland beat Tampa Bay 34-27 in an upset. Miami 21, New Orleans 16. Los Angeles 28-7 winners over the Giants. Philadelphia, a loser to St. Louis today by 10. And Dallas beat Green Bay 28-7. Back to Baltimore and Bob Costas.
Thanks, Bryant. Now they're saying officially that the touchdown goes to Durking off the fumble by Long. Let's look at it.
That's very close to not being a fumble also. That's really a close goal. But Durking gets credit, number 25.
It looked to me on the replay as if Long broke the plane of the goal line by holding the ball itself, not his body, but the ball itself out over the goal line. And here is the return by Curtis Dickey off the Leahy kick, and apparently we were right because the officials have now just changed their mind and they have put it back to a Kevin Long touchdown. It was Long by lunging over the line with his hands, getting credit, breaking the plane of the goal line. It is a Kevin Long touchdown.
Took 11 plays, 84 yards, and that was a big drive for the Jets. 6 minutes it took. 7:47 remaining in this football game. What has to happen now, the defense of the New York Jets has to come alive. They've got to stop Burt Jones and the Baltimore offense.
It was the head linesman, Ed Marion, who made the official call on the long touchdown, and it is Kevin Long scoring his second touchdown of the day, who gets credit for the score, which cuts it down to 28-21. Mark Gastineau with the tackle on Curtis Dickey as he gets out to the 30, picking up about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left.
On that last play, Stan Blinka, the middle linebacker, was blitzing. So I assume what they're thinking right now on 1st down, we better stop them, put them in a hole, put them in a passing situation on 2nd down.
Curtis Dickey. They're going to put them in that passing situation. He got only a yard. Abdul Salam with the stop.
You can hear the fans here at Baltimore. They're expressing their opinion right now. I think they feel that Burt Jones should be throwing the football. But with 6:56 and counting down in this quarter, I know what Baltimore would like to do. They'd like to pick up a couple of 1st downs and run off some of that clock.
Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Colts by a touchdown and a point after at 28-21. They've got Dickey and Don McCauley in.
4 wide receivers, and Burke is one of them. He's been very successful.
They put Dickey out as a flanker on the left side, but Jones goes right, and the catch is made by Ray Butler.
That was really a good throw by Burt Jones. He really fired that ball out on the sideline pattern. Number 84, I was talking about him. Randy Burke has been very successful 3 or 4 times in 3rd down situations. He's come up with key catches, sustaining the drives, getting 1st downs. That time, he attracted 2 defenders of the New York Jets and left Butler out man-to-man on the defensive halfback. Burt Jones fired that ball out there. He's been very successful. 1st half, as I said, he was 7 of 10. 3rd down situations, completing 3rd down situations.
5:50 left, 1st and 10 from the Baltimore 46.
They'll keep it on the ground.
Curtis Dickey. Couple of yards on the play. Ron Crosby and Abdul Salam on the stop. Abdul Salam's name translates into soldier of peace. Not too peaceful when on the field.
His personality changes a little bit out there. Put a man in the pits out there as a defensive lineman, people pounding on him from all directions.
2nd and 7 from the 49. We have 5:05 left. Curtis Dickey. Vaults to around the 48 or 47-yard line of the Jets. This will be 3rd down and about 3. They spotted at the 47.
8 of 5 by Curtis Dickey.
So the situation is this as McCauley comes into the ball game for Cleveland Franklin, the fullback. New York Jets, they're in a situation right now. They've got to stop them. Seattle, another touchdown. They're ahead of Washington in the 4th quarter, 14-0. Seattle defense is not supposed to be that good, and they're shutting out the Redskins.
Washington looking at the possibility of 1-3 if they drop this one. Seattle would be 2-2 if they hold on to win. Philadelphia upset today by the Cardinals in St. Louis. Their record drops to 3-1. Dallas pulls even with them.
Ken Schroy, a good play. Number 48 coming and stopping Curtis Dickey. In the 1st down, they're going to have to kick it away now. The Jets will get the football back. 4:14 remaining in this 4th quarter.
So Mike Bragg will come on to kick it away to Bruce Harper. Started to mention that Dallas won today, so if I'm not mistaken, that puts their record at 3-1 and draws them even with Philadelphia atop the NFC East. Bragg has kicked twice for a 34.5 average, but that's misleading. One of his kicks purposely short. He dropped it down at the 6-yard line in the 3rd quarter. Trying to do the same here.
Good kick.
Sends one spiraling to Harper, who takes it at the 10. He'll bring it back 15-yard line out to about the 17 or 18. So the Jets will have a long haul for what could be the tying touchdown, a 40-yard punt, an 8-yard return by Bruce Harper. When we come back, we'll have 4 minutes and 4 seconds remaining. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts left, and Baltimore leads by 7.
At about $4.50 a quart, this is one of the most expensive motor oils in the world. Or is it?
drive 25,000 miles a year, the money you save on gas, oil changes, and oil filters alone can add up to $83. Up to $83 by switching from conventional 10W40 motor oil to synthetic Mobil 1. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas and more.
You know, I happen to tell my Allstate agent about how everything I have 2 of.
Hi, Dad.
Like 2 cars, he asked? Maybe Allstate's 2-car discount can save you money on insurance. I compared. Allstate saves me more. I can use the money.
Noah, dinner.
One wife. Compare. Allstate's multi-car discount may save you more money. You're in good hands with Allstate.
And that's a promise from us, the good hands people.
Walt Michaels talking it over with his quarterback coach Pete McCulley. His team has to go 82 yards if they want to tie this game.
The last time they had the ball, they went 84 yards for a touchdown. They're going to have to do it once again.
4:04 on the clock. Richard Todd wasting no time in going to the air. Steps back up and heaves one deep. He's looking for Lamb Jones, who turned around and dropped it. Brazil was there on the coverage. Jones did a 180 and almost came up with a spectacular play, but it went through his hands.
I don't know if he would have been able to keep his feet in bounds had he made the catch, because he did get turned around. Todd was flushed out of the pocket and had to get rid of it. But he lets it fly, and he's got to let it fly a long ways because Lamb Jones can run rather swiftly. You can see right there, he was turned that way. It would have been real tough to catch it and keep both feet in bounds.
Bruce Harper in as Scott Durkin goes out. Nickelback comes in the passing situation for Baltimore. The extra defensive back is Kim Anderson. Middle linebacker Ed Simonini sits down for a moment. Second down and 10. Todd with the drop, under some pressure. He lobs over the middle. He's got Bruce Harper. Harper makes a knee-level catch, and then no catch.
Ricky Jones is voicing his opinion, number 51. That ball was underthrown. Had that ball been up and on target and he caught it in stride, he may have gone the distance. Todd has got Harper on a linebacker. The ball is underthrown. As you can see, a lot of clear territory out in front had that ball been thrown a little further.
Almost a great grab by Bruce Harper. Third down and 10 with 3:50 left.
Todd is 14 of 30 for 211 yards.
Gaffney and Lamb Jones wide to the left. Bobby Jones is wide to the right. Todd has time. Does he have a receiver? Yes, he does, but he can't hold on. Derek Gaffney out at the 40-yard line. Todd hit him perfectly, but then Brazil lowered the boom on Gaffney and separated him from the football.
That's the catch you got to come up with. Over the middle, that would have been a big play in the first down.
Now the Jets need a big boot from Chuck Ramsey, or the Colts will have great field position. Ramsey has not kicked especially well today.
I think the Colts are looking at him. They're playing pass right now. They want to see that ball kick before they believe it.
He tried to fake earlier. It backfired. This time he sends a high spiraling kick. Nesby Glasgow at his own 35, 40, 45-yard line to about the 48-yard line, and that's where the Jets stop him. So Baltimore has the ball in good field position. They have their 7-point lead, and we have 3 minutes and 31 seconds to play in this game. We'll return to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore right after this.
Here's another Radio Shack major computer breakthrough. The amazing new TRS-80 Pocket Computer, only $249. Imagine a basic language computer that weighs just 6 ounces. Now carry TRS-80 power in your pocket while traveling, on the job, solve problems, process data, and store it in permanent memory for instant recall. The amazing TRS-80 Pocket Computer, only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
Open up and taste the moment. I can't wait till Megan this time.
Is everything all right?
Just what you deserve.
Super.
It's time for Erlanger. One look, one sip, one taste will tell you this beer is a classic.
Richard Todd has to count on his defensive mates to get the ball back for him for one more crack at it. His team trails 28-21. Baltimore with the ball at their 48-yard line.
Look for the Jet defense. They have as many people up near that line of scrimmage as they possibly can. They have to anticipate that the Colts are going to run with the football. They've got to stop, particularly on first down.
They give it to Curtis Dickey. Dickey is dragged down. No gain on the play. Mark Gastineau was there for the stop.
Got a final. San Diego remains undefeated. They defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 24-7. Fouts threw 2 touchdown passes in that ball game to Kellen Winslow. Another final score. Seattle did it. They shut out Washington. The final, Seattle 14, Washington nothing. And don't count out the 49ers. They have a little time left. DeBerg to Earl Cooper, 27 yards. Atlanta 20. San Francisco 17. 1:28 remaining in the 4th period.
San Francisco down at one time 20-3, weren't they, Len? Clock moving here. 2:45 remaining. Second down play. Cleveland Franklin carries, stumbles forward, gets to midfield. This will be 3rd down and 8. Abdul Salam with the tackle.
And you notice he had both arms around that football because he was told in the huddle by that man, Burt Jones, first things first, don't worry about the yardage so much as holding on to the football.
Now here's an interesting situation. The 30-second clock is about 1 second behind the game clock, which might force them to get off a play before the 2-minute warning, which would save the Jets some valuable time.
See, Baltimore's trying to hustle to get up there.
They got 4 seconds to snap it. 3, 2. They get the snap off. Jones to the air. Big play and the catch. Oh, Ray Butler comes up with a clutch catch, and Baltimore will retain possession. They get the first down at about the 38-yard line of the Jets, and that might have been the ball game right there.
Well, he timed that beautifully because he just got it off before the 30-second clock had ended. He fired that ball for a first down. He got the 2-minute warning.
Minute 56 left, and we're coming right back.
Does the pump loom large in your life?
The K cars are here!
Front-wheel drive Plymouth Reliant K, the American way to beat the pump. America's highest mileage 6-passenger car. If Reliant had rear-wheel drive, the engine, transmission, and drive shaft would crowd into people space. But with Reliant's front-wheel drive, the whole drivetrain's up front for the best 6-passenger mileage in America. Reliant K from Plymouth, the American way to beat the pump.
Harry, you've been gone for hours. Didn't they have a muffler for your car?
I should have gone to Midas.
Did you get a guarantee this time?
I should have gone to Midas.
So how much did you spend?
I should have gone to Midas.
Before you go anywhere else for a muffler, come to Midas, and you won't go anywhere else.
So tell me, Harry, how come you didn't go to Midas?
It pays to Midas-ize.
There's the time remaining. Both clubs have all of their timeouts left, each with 3. Baltimore with the ball and the 7-point lead after that clutch 3rd down pass from Burt Jones to Ray Butler. And the rookie, Ray Butler, has played an outstanding game.
Burt Jones is 17 for 23, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But I was talking to Greg Butler, and I said, what's the secret to it? And he says, we must stop Burt Jones.
Obviously, they haven't done that. Curtis Dickey carries on first down. A 3-yard gain and a timeout asked for by the Jets. They now have 2 remaining. A minute 51 on the clock.
That was a real big 3rd down play that Jones hit Butler with for the first down. Big for both sides, in particular for Walt Michaels and the New York Jets. As you can see that they're not very happy on the sidelines. They've had to suffer through a lot of adversity this year.
The timeout situation as Michaels paces nervously. If his club loses this one, they will be 4 games back of the division-leading Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. 3 games back of Miami. The Dolphins are off to a 3-1 start.
Plus the fact they've lost twice to Baltimore in their division.
And I guess these young ladies have reason to be happy. The Colts have never trailed. They lead now by 7, and they have the ball.
Plus the fact that it's a beautiful day here today.
It was a terrific day for football. And These are the updated standings, counting the finals, which we have in already today.
Well, you take a look at the bottom, as I said before, 0-4 for the New York Jets. Really puts them in a tough situation. They're fighting an uphill battle. For Baltimore, they would be 2 games out if they win this football game.
Richard Todd can't do anything about it unless his teammates get him the ball back. Second down, about 8 yards to go. Again, Curtis Dickey, he may pass. He's looking to. Now he tucks it in, and he's got some open field. Look out. Curtis Dickey, 15, 10-yard line. First down for Baltimore. There's a penalty marker thrown after Dickey went down. A 24-yard jaunt that time for the rookie.
Yes, I think Darrell Ray, the safety for New York Jets, is showing his frustrations because he jumped all over Butler, number 80.
Unsportsmanlike, number 28. Unsportsmanlike,
See the acceleration of this man. What great speed he has.
First down.
And you see right here, back at the right top of your screen, was Butler making a block on Darrell Ray, and Darrell Ray didn't like it. But you know, I didn't know that Dickey really has that ability to throw, but if he has the ability to throw, and he comes out waving that football above his head with the possibility of throwing the ball, that is going to freeze some defensive people. And if they freeze, he's going to do like he just did. He's going to be flying by them.
Both Butler and Ray are hit with offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. It is first down, 10 yards to go from just outside the 10-yard line. Joe Washington. Welcome to those of you who have been watching the San Diego, Kansas City and the Seattle, Washington games. Bob Costas with Len Dawson at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, and here's the situation. You see the time left, coming down to 1 minute and 15 seconds. Baltimore, which has never trailed, leads 28-21, and they are driving for the score which could wrap it up inside the Jet 10-yard line.
Well, they've completely dominated the Jets on this last drive, a drive in which the Jets defense had to stop them if they had any hope whatsoever of winning this football game. But you take a look, 1 minute in the ball game and counting down. They're very much in scoring territory right now, and I'm sure Burt Jones will just be content to keep that football on the ground.
2nd and 7 from the 8. They can get a first down at the 1-yard line. Joe Washington is stopped, and the Jets use a timeout. There's their head coach, Walt Michaels. The Jets have just 1 timeout left. It'll be 3rd down now for Baltimore. The Disney film classic The Shaggy Dog will be seen on The Wonderful World of Disney immediately following the conclusion of NBC's football coverage on most of these NBC stations.
The only thing now that the Jets can hope for is a turnover. They're going to be trying to stripping that ball from Baltimore.
Because even if the Colts are stopped in this situation, it's a chip shot for Steve Mickemeyer for a field goal, which would put them up by 10.
Well, they don't even have to, they have Jets have 1 timeout remaining. They're going to have to utilize that timeout after this play. 3rd down situation. Even if the Colts don't make it, they could run another play. And virtually run the clock out.
To update what has happened here, Joe Washington ran for a touchdown in the first half for Baltimore. Burt Jones then threw 2 touchdown passes. One went to Don McCauley, the veteran. The other went to Randy Burke. And the Colts had a 21-14 lead at halftime. The Jets had scored their touchdowns on a short run by Kevin Long and an 11-yard touchdown pass from Richard Todd to Clark Gaines. Then, in the second half, each team has scored 1 touchdown. Curtis Dickey, about a 3-yard run for Baltimore, which put them up 28-14. The Jets moved back to within 28-21 when Long scored again on about a 5-yard run. That's where we stand. 28-21 Baltimore. 47 seconds remaining. The ball just outside the 5-yard line. Jones goes to the air, and there's a touchdown and some icing on the cake. Roger Carr with his first touchdown catch of the season. There is a penalty marker down on the play, but from Burt Jones's reaction, it'll be against the Jets, so the touchdown will stand.
The penalty flag was thrown, I think, for defensive holding.
And touchdown.
That is a surprise move, going up top on a 3rd down situation, throwing the football to Roger Carr. Number 26, Dykes, had no idea at all that the ball was in the air. He didn't even know it was a pass.
So for Burt Jones, his 3rd touchdown pass of the day, his 5th touchdown pass of the season. Steve Mickemeyer will try and tack on the 35th point, and Baltimore will leave here today at 2-2, and the Jets will be 0-4 season as a legitimate AFC East contender.
That play there, Burt Jones and Roger Carr, indicates the confidence that that man has in his ability. Because it's a third down situation, all he had to do is keep the ball on the ground for 2 plays, and the clock would have run out. He put the ball up in the air, and that's a good play because number 26, Dykes, had to turn his back. He's playing bump and run down there on Roger Carr. He had to turn his back to the line of scrimmage. I don't believe he knew that it was even a pass because his back was completely to the line of scrimmage. He didn't indicate anything by putting his hands up or trying to guard against Roger Carr. Roger Carr was looking all the way to Burt Jones, and he saw the ball. Dykes did not. And for Walt Michaels, 0-4 is not a real good position to be in for any football coach. I know that the Jets this past week gave him, I guess, somewhat of a vote of confidence, which a lot of times isn't the best situation to be in, judging from the history of sports.
How often the axe has fallen immediately following the vote of confidence. Steve Mickemeyer to kick off. Grounds one down the middle, trying not to give Harper a chance to run it back, but he fields it anyway, and there's some open field for Bruce Harper, who's racing for the sideline and gets out of bounds to stop the clock across the 35-yard line. 38 seconds left, and the Jets have 1 timeout remaining. Credit Harper with a 27-yard return. A reminder again, Len Dawson's all-time favorite Disney film, The Shaggy Dog, will be seen immediately following our NBC football coverage. We'll join it in progress right after the football game.
That's in my top 3.
The others being sort of like the Parent Trap and the Love Bug myself. Todd with 38 seconds to work a miracle. Swings one out to Clark Gaines, and Gaines scoots out of bounds, stopping the clock with 32 seconds left.
Clark Gaines on the reception.
It's almost an impossible situation, because the Baltimore Colts are going to be back there 25 yards, 30 yards deep. The secondary people, they're saying, go ahead, throw all the ones in front of us that you want to. We'll let you have them. We're just not going to let you get that quick one.
The Jets trailed at one time 14-zip, came back to a 14-all deadlock, trailed 28-14, got as close as 28-21, but it's been the same story all year long for Todd and the Jets. Catch up, catch up, catch up. Todd eludes the rush, but the pass is dropped by Bruce Harper with 27 seconds left.
Pass intended for Bruce Harper.
Bruce took his eyes off the football. He should have caught that. That was an easy catch, but he just took his eyes off the ball. And there's another situation for the receivers. They know that they have to get all the yardage they can and get out of bounds. And he was not looking at the football, and he didn't catch it.
I'd like to thank our spotters up in the booth today, Ron Thomas and Chuck Coliani, and our statistician, John Schneider. 27 seconds left from midfield. Todd has a man open. Let's see if Lamb Jones gets credit for the catch. No, they'll say he trapped it. It'll be 3rd and 10, and let's look at some scores of other games as we prepare to say goodbye from Baltimore. San Diego wins again. They beat Kansas City 24-7. Seattle shuts out Washington in the nation's capital, 14-zip. Atlanta still leading San Francisco. That game not over yet. The 49ers trail 20-3. They've come back to 20-17 late in the 4th quarter. 22 seconds left. 3rd down and 10 from midfield. Jets are down by 14 points and juggled and dropped.
I wonder who he was throwing that football to, because he had both Jones and Gaffney right out in the same area. I think he might have been throwing the ball to number 81, Gaffney, but Jones went so high up in the air he got a hand on it. We do have a final now. You're mentioning that Atlanta-San Francisco game. It is final, 20-17, Atlanta winning it.
So San Francisco is now 3-1 on the season. Bill Walsh's club absorbing their first defeat.
Philadelphia lost. They're another team that was undefeated that went down to defeat.
Cardinals beat them in St. Louis. Dallas, meantime, beat Green Bay. Cowboys and Eagles tied at 3-1 in the NFC East. This is 4th down. They need 10 yards. They've got 10 yards.
Better get it. He just lost it, too.
You know, you're right. He had it, and he ran backwards, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down. That was Mickey Schuler, the tight end.
Pass complete to Mickey Schuler.
So Richard Todd will walk off the Baltimore field for the last time with 2 seconds left. The Colts take over on downs. It's all over. And they're not going to bother to run another play. That's the final score. The Colts 35 and the Jets 21. For Len Dawson, so long from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. United brings more